What up, what up? This is Ace OG. Back on another topic, back on another video. So the title of this video is going to be, would you sacrifice your morals for money? So admin notes, thanks again to all subscribe to the channel. I endeavor to keep pushing the video out, give you leverage, do better yourselves. So let's get into it. So would you sacrifice your morals for money? And I'm asking this question because of the P. Diddy situation that's going on right now with him being arrested and indicted on these charges of racketeering, flying women over state lines and all those other things that they charged them with, right? And, you know, I say money because I could have titled this video, would you sacrifice your morals for status? Would you sacrifice your morals for fame, for clout, all these other things, for power? But one thing that, you know, folks that don't understand this need to understand is that money pretty much can buy you all of that. It can buy you fame, it can buy you power, it can buy you status, it can buy you all those things. In the movie Scarface, the person that plays Scarface, I forget his name now. Man, I forget his name now. It's going Al Pacino. Al Pacino plays Scarface in the movie Scarface, right? And one of the lines he says in the movie is, don't quote me, but I believe he says, first you get the money, then you get the power, right? And that's true in life. You have situations since Hollywood's been created, and I mean just since the beginning of time where folks have actually built status and have built an empire for themselves. Even when there wasn't any like paper money, there were ways for folks to gain status and, you know, be a king, you know, be a prince, all these other things through inheritance or other ways. But, you know, since the beginning of time, there's always been situations where men and women have built status for themselves, and it's based off of monetary gain or, you know, just money in general. And in the situation where we see Puff Daddy, you know, being charged of these things, this is all about money. Because if he was just a normal guy, he wouldn't have been able to do all these things that he's been accused of, right? And once again, I'm not going to like make this video to discredit him or make this video to make it seem like he's a monster or all these other things, because we don't know. We're going to let the justice system, well, at least I'm going to let the justice system take its course and let God do what he need to do, right? Because one thing that I've explained to folks, and also to my kids, that, you know, if you do something that's out of pocket, that you know that's not right, and you get away with it, meaning that you don't get any trouble, you don't get arrested or all the other things, trust and believe that somewhere along the line, karma's going to hit you, and you're going to get it some other way, right? And, you know, karma is so tough that, you know, in some situations where some people, they wish that karma had came back equally to what they did to somebody, because karma can come back and hit you in ways that you don't want karma to hit you. And I think if these things are true about Puffy, I think karma has caught up with him. And, you know, it's just one of those things that, you know, you're going to do certain things for so long with status, with money, until things start crumbling down. And this is what happened to him. Now, as far as like the question would you sacrifice your morals for money? I've asked this question to myself, and I got to be honest, I don't think so. Matter of fact, I'm pretty positive that I would not. And the reason being is because, you know, it's just I value my masculinity, I value my manhood, and I value my morals, I value my integrity, all those things, right? There's not enough money in the world that's going to make me go against the grain when it comes to certain things. Like, it just isn't, you know what I'm saying? And I think a lot of guys and a lot of women will sacrifice basically who they are as a person for money. And it's a sad situation, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, there's there's memes and jokes that's done all the time on the internet, and even amongst people where, you know, they'll ask somebody, you know, what would you do for $1 million? Would you do this? Would you do that? And, you know, some of the questions are very tough, you know, There's questions that, that basically challenges somebody's sexuality, it challenges somebody's integrity, and all these other things, right? And I know for myself, I could not see myself doing that. Even if I did it in the dark, and I had a guarantee that nobody would know that I did this to get this money. The fact of the matter is I would know, and it would eat away it would eat away at me, and I value my relationship with God too much for me to sacrifice my morals for money. I give all this stuff away to keep my morals. I mean, that's just the way I feel. That's just the way I am. So hold on, y'all. Okay, all right. Well, that was a fail. Let's see. I don't do edits, so I'm gonna see if this works. I think that's gonna stay there. Okay, all right. I was trying to get this video out before the sun went down all the way, but it didn't. So I know as it gets dark, the quality of the video is going to kind of like be grainy. So that's why I threw the camera light on so I can be seen a little bit better. But yeah, I mean, there isn't enough money in the world, in my opinion, to make me just do things that they say that Diddy made people do. And I say made very loosely, because we're talking about grown adults here. I've seen a whole bunch of podcasters. I've seen a whole bunch of folks on the internet that that have status that talked about some of these things that have happened or things that are alleged to happen. And for the most part, these folks are saying that these were grown people. These were not underage people, right? So my thought process is that if you was grown, what kind of power did he have over you that he could make you do these abhorrent things? Like, did he put a gun? Did he put a gun to you? Did he threaten your family? I don't think so. I think that these freak offs that they're talking about that he did is a lot of consenting adults that had something to gain by doing these things, right? And let's be honest when it comes to some of these things that he's been accused of doing. Let's be very honest. A lot of this stuff is demonic. I know folks don't like talking about the enemy, about the devil, but I mean, I saw a video a while back, a couple months ago, where this guy was talking about on a video about about this party he went to. And I'm not going to say the details what the party was, but the party was, I mean, when he explained what was going on in that party, it was crazy, right? I mean, and it's just one of those things that you have to really dig deep. You have to really dig deep and really, find yourself. And when folks get millions of dollars thrown in their face, like, some folks just don't know how to handle that. They just like, what? This money can literally save my life. This money can literally save my family. So I'm just going to do anything and everything for me to get this money. And I'm telling you right now, as a man, that's not a good look, y'all. That's just not a good look at all. It just really isn't. You know what I'm saying? Like, I personally, I just cannot sacrifice my morals. I cannot sacrifice my integrity for money. I just can't do that. I just can't do that. There's just some things that you can't buy. Some things that just is priceless, right? For example, my children, right? There's nothing in this world that there's no amount of money in the world that somebody can give me to offer me to give my kids up to them. Nothing. Like, I don't care if it was $1 trillion. They are priceless to me. My wife, priceless, right? Like, there's no money that's going to be able to. There's no amount of money that's going to be able to convince me that I can use this money wisely enough that it's going to sacrifice losing my wife and children. Like, it's just not. It's not even feasible, right? Sometimes you have to ask yourself a question. And somebody asked this question to me one time before, right? They said, they asked me the question is, how important is money to you? How important is money to you, right? And then they asked a question like, if you could bring back your grandmother, or if you could have $1 billion, what would you take? Would you bring your grandmother back, or taking $1 billion? I said, bring my grandmother back, because my grandmother is almost like my mom. And then he said, well, money is not that important to you. Think about that now. He said that if you had a choice to bring your grandmother back or have $1 billion, which one would you choose? I chose my grandmother. He said, because you chose your grandmother, that means the money is not that important to you. And that was real, right? Because, you know, people are selling their souls for money. And I think that a lot of folks that dealt with Diddy, when it comes to these alleged things he did, sold their soul for money. And you have to ask yourself, would I sacrifice my morals for money? The answer for me is no. I wouldn't do that, right? And I think that this situation has really brought to light some things for people. I think that it's really brought folks to really dig deep within themselves and actually ask themselves these real strong, hard questions. Because don't get it twisted, Diddy is not going to be the only one that's going to be, you know, talked to or go down for the stuff that's going on. If this is true and he is convicted, or you have folks start talking, like it's real, y'all. It's going to be real. But yeah, I just want to bring that question to you guys, and drop some comments in the comment section and let me know, would you sacrifice your morals for money? If you would, why? If you wouldn't, why? Because I really want to know. All right. So you want me to discuss the topic or subject you think is beneficial to the channel, email me at findingfitnessfolk@gmail.com. My email address is in the description below. This is OG signing out. I'm gone.